talk about the anatomy of thoughts just for a little bit, because you think about it in terms of your physical body, but let's talk about what a vibration is, what energy is, what a thought is, and what an emotion is. And we're going to use these really, really big, bold, not even very accurate terms. We just want to give you a sense of how it all works, because at the very basis of who you are offering vibrations at a cellular level, and that cellular level of vibrations is not comprehensible to you in the sense that you do not have the ability to translate the thinking of your cells into something that is very meaningful to you. In other words, there's no psychological conversation that's going on that's going to be very meaty for you. It's not a political discussion. Esther was on an airplane yesterday listening to men talking about the college football games, and Esther realized she doesn't know anything about any of these teams. It was really upsetting to her. She just wished that they would talk a little bit about some team that she knows. Just throw out one name I know, but no. It was all these things that Esther's never focused on, and Esther thought, I need to brush up on my college football, because if I'm going to eavesdrop, I need to be in the loop a little bit, because this conversation just sounds like blah, 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 blah to me. It was not meaningful at all to Esther. Well, there are a lot of things that are not meaningful to you because you don't have enough momentum going about them. And until you have some momentum going, it's not very meaningful. So you get to choose the things that are meaningful to you. So there are things that are going on in your physical body, points of attraction, that really are not of any of your concern, because it's a language that you don't need to articulate into anything very specific. But the cells of your body are collectively, in a sort of mass consciousness way, emitting a consensus of how they're doing, which you can feel emotionally. So if you are looking for evidence of feeling good and finding even the slightest evidence, and then you are taking that emotion of feeling good and you're actually commenting on it, I feel good. Ooh, I feel good in my body today. Now you've increased the momentum of that. Are you getting a sense of what we're talking about? And that's what you want to do relative to all subjects all day, every day. Add emphasis to the ones that feel good and de-emphasize the ones that feel bad by taking your attention from them. And then watch what happens. If you are monitoring manifestations, and at that point making your statements of how you're doing, the momentum is already too far down the road and you have very little control. But when you start caring about the way you feel, and you are caring about the emotions, and you are deliberately taking something that feels a little good and focusing on it until it increases and becomes more, before you know it, and we're talking about days really, manifestations of things that you have been wanting for a very long time will begin being realized by you in your experience. And at those realization points, you're going to then say, well, I guess I've been getting this right. And so that's just the process. Try it a little. Try to feel for the feeling of fun just for a few days and watch what happens in your life. Try to feel for a feeling of appreciation just for a few days and watch what happens in your life. Show yourself how you have come closer to who you are with these general thoughts. You didn't trip over. Esther's been talking a lot about what she's tripping over. She said to at least 5 members of her staff, maybe not the mobile crew, but the home crew, I'm tired of tripping over that. Let's do something about that. I don't want to trip over that anymore. I don't want to trip over that anymore. Well, she didn't even realize she was saying, I don't want to trip over that, until she tripped over that. And now that she's tripped over that around the world, she tripped over that, it's got her attention. I'm going to stop saying I'm going to stop tripping over that. I'm not going to trip over that. Scotty said, oh, I'm really sorry about that. And Esther said, I create my own reality. Damn it. I create my own reality. Nobody's responsible for anything that happens to me. Everything that comes to me is as a result of what I've got going on vibrationally. Don't you love knowing that? And don't you love manifestations that explain to you what you've got going on vibrationally? Don't you love that? Would you really want it to be any other way?
No.
And don't you love knowing that it's all for you? Doesn't it feel good to be in that spotlight?
Yes.
Don't you like being in that spotlight where everything that is occurring in your experience is a reflection of what you're doing vibrationally, what you're doing emotionally, how you are tending to your own point of attraction? You're powerful. You're powerful. And the trajectory of your deservability is more powerful than Esther can even find words to explain to you. It's time for you to just chill out and have more fun and make it simpler, and don't bring with you all the stuff that you've picked up along your physical trail. Just stand in your now and reach for the best feeling thought that you can find here and now, and watch what begins to happen. Esther is certain that this avalanche, and it is, of extraordinary, and they are, manifestations in her life experience are happening now because of her few weeks of sitting with her notebook and deciding to focus for 15 or 20 minutes unconditionally. To find a feeling without needing something to have produced it. To start at the basis of her vibrational anatomy, whatever that means, and start in that neutral place and just see if well-being ensues from that. Just giving herself a chance to grow something that feels good by not starting with something that feels bad. By not beginning the day by solving a problem, by not beginning the day by answering emails, by not beginning the day by trying to clean up the things you're tripping over, by not beginning the day in the hole. Instead, beginning in that neutral place and just letting the universe show you the goodness that will come to you if you start in that neutral place, you see. And then, once that momentum gets going, then the things that begin to happen are far more than emotions. It's rendezvousing with people and things coming into place and financial enterprises coming together and all kinds of things coming that just make you stand back, and most of the world stand back if they were watching it and understanding it in amazement at the blessedness that you are living, you see. Nobody can understand you. No one will ever really get you. Give up trying to get them to get you. You're not going to make them understand. You cannot explain yourself to anybody because nobody can get your point of attraction. And the harder you try to explain to someone who's not getting at who you are, the less you be who you are.
Yes.
You let them train you into their awareness of you.
Yes.
You don't want their awareness of you. You want your awareness of you. Your warm, loving, appreciative, well-being version of you, the one that your inner being holds and tends to and knows and flows to you. You see, here's the reason that a conversation like this, we know, is so helpful to you. Once you hear this enough, you'll be in the middle of some momentum that isn't pleasing to you, and you will realize why the momentum is there. And when you have conscious realization, now you're in control. It's like, sometimes it feels like it would be prudent, that's what your parents told you in the beginning, drive slowly. Well, you don't always want to drive slow, and sometimes it isn't even the best idea to drive slow. Don't get out on a thoroughfare where people are really moving and drive slow. You're more of a problem when you're driving slow than if you're up to speed with what's going on around you. And so when you realize that you are in control of your experience, we just want you to know the faster you're moving, the faster the momentum is, the more happy you really are going to be in the experience. But you don't want to drive fast before you have control of your vehicle. You want to drive according to the conditions. How's that? You want to drive according to the conditions. So if the roads are slippery or if there's a lot of congestion, you drive according to the conditions. You don't press on the accelerator when you're going downhill on the San Francisco streets. In other words, you drive according to the conditions. So that's what you're doing. We want you to deliberately, cognitively, deliberately flow your vibrations according to the conditions. We want you to be aware of what's going on around and go as fast as you can go vibrationally according to the conditions.
Yes.
So how does that fit in with unconditional love? If we're asking you to drive according to the conditions, so what condition is it that we're talking about? The way you feel. If you're really angry, they teach you this all day, every day. If you're angry, do you want to get in the car and drive off in your anger fit? That's never a good idea, is it? Isn't that almost always when something goes wrong? When you're in that place? Do you believe that you can be in control of the way you feel?
Yes.
Under all conditions?
Yes.
No, not under all conditions yet. But eventually, you can be in control of the way you feel under all conditions. So, does it matter that you're not in control under all conditions? If a condition comes and you're not in control of the way you feel, is it a problem? Isn't that the way you become in control of your conditions? Isn't it just all by practicing it? By finding the feeling place of it?
Yes.
Does it bore you when we present to you such a simplistic approach to life that it all boils down to how you feel and you have control over how you feel? And do you want to argue with us in your mind about that? Because there are people in your life that make it really hard for you to feel the way you want to feel. Well, those people are the most significant people in your life experience. Because if you are able to show yourself that you can feel the way you mean to feel unconditionally by caring about how you feel so much that you manage your vibration earlier until you get the momentum going, then you've got it made. So controlling your vibration is all about momentum. And momentum is all about starting at the early stages. It's about how you get it started. That is the reason that you were born into this physical time-space reality where there is slumber. That's the whole point of your slumber. While you sleep, your momentum subsides. And every time you come back into consciousness, you have the then new fresh slate, the new ability to push the reset button and to find a vibration that feels good to you. And it is our promise to you. If you will find it and consciously acknowledge that you have found it and focus upon it with the deliberate intent of continuing to feel the feeling, the momentum of it will increase until you will not be living a boring life. It will not be boring. We're not trying to get you to go back into no thought, no thought, no thought. What we are wanting to help you do is to go back into no resistance, no resistance, no resistance, knowing that law of attraction will then pick up the pace until there will be momentum that will lead you or lead everything that you want directly to you. You are supposed to be living the manifestations that you want. You are supposed to be living all of those manifestations. You haven't sifted through life and put all of those things into your vibrational reality, into your vortex of creation for no reason. You've put it there for the reason that it must continue to grow. It is illogical. It is wrong for you to have put things into your vortex that are not being allowed by you to come to your realization, to your actualization. That's the thing that's causing you all of your stress. 100% of your negative emotion exists because you have created a reality that you are blocking yourself from. It's not because somebody else is preventing it, and it's not because you've done something wrong, and it's not because of this condition or this condition or this condition. The only reason that you feel any negative emotion at all is because you are expanded beyond what you are right now willing to allow. And the thing that is so interesting about that is that the reason that you're disallowing all that you want to manifest into full realization is because you're not willing to feel good enough. You're not willing to feel good. Oh no, I shouldn't feel good over that. That lady is sick and that person doesn't have enough money and
it's selfish.
There's this going on and it's just not normal. It's just not normal. People would think I was nuts if they knew that I'm just happy all the time with all this stuff going on. And we say, gotta give up what anybody else thinks. And you got to care about how you feel. And then watch the momentum of your life pinpoint accurately for you the perfection, the brilliance, the worthiness, and the blessedness of who you are. And Esther did not know that a month ago like she knows it now, because she had not had the benefit of a magnificent manifestation punctuating her point of attraction. She didn't even know she had that point of attraction going. Oh, she was happy, and she knew she was feeling good. And she knew that she was feeling good a lot. And she knew that she was feeling good on purpose. She just didn't know what feeling good like that for a consistent period of time would yield to her. You see what we're getting at?
Yes.
But when it yielded, then she thought, oh, I recognize that.